Hey everybody, this is Ray Halstead and Patricia Nass with REH CPA. The IRS recently came out with a memo that talked about red flags for unscrupulous tax preparers. I've got Patty here with me today. Patty, what are some of those red flags that the IRS has identified for unscrupulous tax preparers?
Sure. So the first one that the IRS says to be aware of is that the tax preparer has a PTIN, a Preparer Tax Identification Number. So this comes directly from the IRS. And so it just shows that they're registered with the IRS to prepare tax returns. You know, you want them to be held accountable and make sure that they're putting their name on those returns. Another thing along with that is you want to make sure that they have credentials, and professionalism. So you're going to want to look for somebody who's either a CPA, certified public accountant, an EA, an enrolled agent, or even, a tax attorney, somebody that has the knowledge. And, if they don't, then it might mean that they don't specialize in taxes. So they might not be as knowledgeable.
What about if they promise you a large refund? Would that be a red flag?
Definitely. So, especially without looking at your returns or, going through your information, if they're telling you that they can get you a refund, it means that most likely they're doing something either fraudulent or, putting unnecessary deductions on there. Really, you should be looking out for a preparer who's going to look through your returns and, they can give you an estimate of what they think, but they really shouldn't be making any guarantees. No one can guarantee anything until the return's completed.
So what if a preparer wants you to sign the return without you reviewing it? Would that be a red flag?
Yes. So you should always make sure you have a copy. Always make sure that you go through it before anything gets filed. You want to make sure that the preparer kind of has an understanding of what's going on, can explain everything to you. You want to see a copy of it. You want to be able to ask them questions if you have questions. If it's someone who just wants to e-file it for you and send it off without you looking at it, most likely it's because they want to avoid questions that they probably don't know the answers to. They're probably not sure what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're just, hoping to go move on.
So other than that, those red flags, what else should somebody be concerned about when it comes to tax preparer?
So if they're not interested in making sure to have all the proper documentation, that's also a big red flag. If someone just says, hey, my W-2 numbers are X, Y, and Z, and, without actually providing forms, you want to make sure that they're asking you for the forms. Otherwise, it's kind of a sign that they're just trying to rush through and that they're not really taking the time and making sure that they have all the proper documentation.
Well, that's really good information, Patty. If you feel like you may be working with an unscrupulous tax preparer and you want to call and talk to us about it, feel free to give us a call and we'll help you out. Thanks.